we get to Travis's first deployment, and he's in Anbar province, and with 1st Recon Battalion. And here we go. As the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion's maintenance management officer at Camp Fallujah, his responsibilities, which were focused on making sure vehicles were correctly allocated, fueled, and repaired, were undoubtedly important. But sitting on the sidelines while others went outside the wire to fight was definitely not what the Marine had envisioned when he was back training. So he got assigned as a logistics officer.
He did, yeah. He was... He actually had intel officers as first choice because they have the sniper squads. And he had infantry for a while, and then he said, you know what, I think I'd like to work with the snipers. So he switched it. And he always thought, since he switched it at the end, that's how he ended up being a logistician. So he always, was kicking himself for that. But, when he went out there, started to work in logistics, realized how important it was, the mission, I think he was still a little frustrated, for sure. But he started to really integrate with 1st Recon, and actually Colonel Higgins, the CO, said, look, when you come back from this second tour, we're going to give you a recon platoon. So he was pretty, jazzed up about that and looking forward to getting a recon platoon. And, it was part of why when he was over there as a MIT team member, he was doing logistics as an advisor, but also he was also taking the platoons out on patrols, probably more than anyone over there. I mean, that's sort of the way he was. I mean, he was going to get ready. So he was like, okay, another patrol, I'm going.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's, obviously, logistics wins wars.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think Travis was a logistics kind of guy. And in logistics, they truly do. I mean, if you can't get bullets and beans, you're not going to win the war. That's the way it is. And that's one of the great things about the Marine Corps is the way they do their spread, and they put really high-quality guys in every aspect of the Marine Corps, including logistics. But, yeah, I can imagine he was pretty frustrated about that.
A little frustrated, and now the Marine Corps gives out an annual award to the Logistician of the Year. And it's the Travis Manion Logistician of the Year Award. So,
well, there you go.
Okay,
that's awesome. And Sherratt, is that how you pronounce his name?
No, Sharratt.
Sherratt. Okay, sorry. So Sherratt, I thought this was another awesome piece of advice from Sherratt. Travis had reached out and said, hey, it's great to be here. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm definitely getting frustrated. I want to get outside the wire. And Sherratt says, learn everything you can every second you can. Study the tactics, study the people, study the culture, and know them. More importantly, know yourself and be vigilant not to let up on yourself preparing for the unexpected. So that's just incredible advice,
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what situation you are in, you try and make yourself better. And actually I work for one of the senior SEAL admirals that when September 11th kicked off, he was in charge of acquisitions at the Pentagon as a captain. And, here's everyone going to war, and he's, doing acquisitions, which for those of you that aren't in the military, that means it's high-level logistics. And something that he told me that always stuck with me was, he was the same thing as Travis. He's frustrated. Here I am in the Pentagon every day. And what he told me was, what? I said to myself, Jocko, this is my foxhole. I'm going to fight. So his foxhole is in the Pentagon dealing with paper, and
great way to
that's what he did. And he knew that that was what he had to do. And now he's going to do it to the best of his ability. And hearing this from Sherratt. I'm going to keep messing that.
Yeah. Well, Joel was a great mentor, and he always had solid advice for Travis and the other guys that wrestled at Navy, for sure.
All this being said about, the logistics being inside the wire, logistics, when you're running convoys all the time, those logistics guys, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Seabees, we had Seabees that ran logistics. You're doing convoys, and you're doing convoys down heavily laden IED streets. So there was all kinds of logistics. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of female logisticians that deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Oh, they're supposed to be in a non-combat role. Well, guess what? They got after it. They had to.
They're right in the middle of it all.
You're in a convoy.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, back to the book. During one late night evening convoy through Fallujah, the deafening thunder of an IED shattered the relative tranquility of 1st Reconnaissance Battalion Patrol. The group of Marines had been attacked before, but this was the first time that Travis was with them during a hostile incident. Keeping his composure while following orders of the more experienced officers, Travis, his heart pumping and ears ringing, helped evacuate a Marine who was wounded in the attack. So, again, might have been in logistics, but you're still, those guys are out there.
They're right in the middle of it, yeah.
Exactly.